Well, good afternoon. This is going to be a fairly quick video on creating a form that you can send out to get responses from people that fill into a spreadsheet. There's multiple ways that you can do this. This particular one is going to go to employees or internal people to our company. And so there'll be, a few things that are a little different that we do not need to collect in the form because we'll already know that information because they're logged in to our tenant when they fill this out. If this was something being distributed outside of the company, you'd need to add a couple more fields to collect from the person filling it out. So there's, like I say, there's more than one way to do this. The typical way is you're going to go to office.com, click on the waffle. You're going to go click on forms, and you're going to go in here and you're going to create a new form. And then you're going to take the link for the responses for the spreadsheet and you're going to copy it to someplace else. Honestly, there's an easier way to do it, and this is the way that I create them. So I've created a group in Office 365, just test form group. And I like to start with the spreadsheet where I want it to be to collect the responses from this. So this could be in this documents of this group. I could create a subfolder. It could be buried down multiple subfolders. Doesn't matter. I'm going to create a new, and I'm not going to do a form survey, although you could do it this way. I want to do an Excel workbook. And just as a note, you do need to do this using the web version of Excel. It's just easier and it works a lot better. So I'm going to rename this book. I'm going to click on the name up here and I'm just going to call this responses. That's really all I need for this demo. And on the insert tab up here, obviously we want a form. So I'm going to do a new form. And this form, it's creating it. And it's going to pre-fill in some fields. And then it's going to take us to the form in the Microsoft Forms, and we're going to fill in what we want to have sent out. But here the idea is just going to start with one and it's going to count. And that's fine. We're going to leave that alone. I don't really care how long they spent on the form. If this was a quiz or a test, it might matter. But here it doesn't. So I don't really care about this one. I'm going to get rid of that. Their email, I don't really need that. I'm not going to reply back to them. It's not something I need. These are people internal to us. All I really need is the date they filled it out and their name. And so the name field, you can change the titles of these fields in this form without messing up the form. And so just so that this goes a little quicker, I'm going to do a copy and paste here. This is going to be the submitter's name. It could also just be your name, but submitter's name is fine. We're going to go with that. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to open the form. And it's going to open it up in forms. And it's going to, just like any other form, it's going to ask what we want the person filling this out to do. So the first thing we want to have is a text field. And this is going to be the nominee name. So I'm going to paste that in. And obviously we need this to be required. Now we're going to add the next question is going to be another text. And text is we want them to be able to type in here. And that will be, is there a particular trial that they were at or what department are they in? We also don't really need that to be a required field. The next one, this is also going to be a test and of course a text. And this is going to be the reason or reasons why you think they should be Employee of the Month. And obviously, this needs to be a required field. And then we're going to add one more, and this will be a choice. And this one is going to be a choice. It's not really a choice, but we're not going to tell them that. Is option 1 is going to be yes, option 2 is no, and we're not going to make this required either. And when we put some test entries in, you're going to see why this is a question, but it's really not. And so that's everything that we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to collect responses, because I need this URL, this link to send out to everybody. So the first thing I'm going to do is click this box to shorten it, and then I'm going to copy the link. And so we don't need this one anymore. We don't need this one anymore. We're just going to do a new tab here, and I'm going to fill this in. So the nominee name, let's do SpongeBob. Trial was trial by fire. The reason is he starts fire underwater. Do you wish to be anonymous? Well, sure, I wish to be anonymous, and I'll submit it. So let's do another one. But let's go up to our spreadsheet and see it's filled it in. So here's sort of the trick with that is we asked them they wanted to be anonymous, and I said yes, but obviously it's filled in the date, the time, and my name. So they're never gonna be anonymous. That's really just for our internal, hey, they didn't want their name with it, and so we just won't. But the reality is there's not really a way for them to be anonymous. So I'm going to center these up just to make it a little bit of a housekeeping. And for the reason, I'm going to word wrap this because we may have some people sort of write a novel in here, and I'm going to pull this over, give them a little bit of room for it. So let's go back to responses. We're going to do one more. We're going to submit another response. We'll do Joe Bob. It was the, we'll just leave that blank. And the reason, we're going to put a very long reason in here that I've just copied from the random text generator in Word. And this time we'll leave anonymous blank and we'll submit it. So we'll go back to our responses. Here I think we can shorten this down to just anonymous is all we really need. And so this was why I wanted to set the word wrap on this, or else we'd be scrolling to the right for a long time here. And so that's really all there is. This is one more change I might make is I'm going to select the entire spreadsheet. And I want all the text to be centered vertically in the cell, just so it's a little easier to see who sent in one that's got a long reason. And so that's it. I'm going to show you one more time. We're going to go back to the form, and there might be an instance where, so now in my forms, that I want to give somebody else the ability to edit this form. So what I'm going to do is go up here and under collaborator duplicate, I'm going to add collaborators. So I'm just going to click on share a link to collaborate and view the result. And I would just click on this and I would copy it and send it to somebody. So in a regular form, if you had created this in the forms, you could actually type in someone's name and click on them, and it would add them as an editor to the form. Process is a little bit different, but you get the exact same result. So there you go. There is a real quick overview of creating a form from directly within the spreadsheet. And this is the way I do it. I think it's a little bit easier to get to where I want to be. The form is here. Here's the sheet. You could actually delete this off of here. Doesn't make any difference. And just leave the form page showing here. So there you go. I hope this helps you out.